Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let me just fix this a little bit. I didn't want it to fall. Okay, yeah. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Hanifa. And I'm getting it mixed up between YouTube and my podcast because I also have a podcast called Behind Closed Doors. What do you call it? Muscle memory, I guess. I still have that podcast, but recording for YouTube, so it's different. So this video was actually inspired by me playing around on Procreate the other day because I am a very not aesthetic is the word, but I like when the things that I create are visually pleasing to me. So I was on YouTube and I'm like, let me change my banner so that way when I come on YouTube to post my videos, I can feel like not home, but feel drawn to want to post because it looks cute. And as I was trying to figure out how I want my banner to look, still trying to figure out so don't look too hard, I was looking at some old videos that I had, and one of the videos that I posted before, the one that I posted 6 days ago, was a year out or a week out of graduation. It was called Graduation Blues because I was graduating, didn't know what I was going to do with my life after school, and just going through a lot of fears around stepping out of my safety net that is school. And as I was looking at that video, well, I didn't tap on it to look at it, but I was remembering the things that I was saying in that video. It had me thinking of where I am right now and all the things that I have accomplished and have not accomplished, and just thinking about the ways in which life does not go as planned. Because after graduation, I had two routes. I could have applied for my work visa to stay in the States, and the other one was for me to what do you call it, to teach abroad, to travel and teach abroad. I was actually going to go to Cambodia, which is so different than, two different paths. And I remember struggling at that time because I was like, oh my gosh, which is the right choice? What is the right choice? I ended up staying in the States, applying for my work visa and my temporary work visa under OPT. And the things that have happened after school or within that choice of staying here, it makes me think of this line by I think his name is Toby, Nigerian American rapper, where he was learn yourself before you go to school. Because the way in which I have learned myself so intimately outside of school, outside of four walls in a very rigorous setting, it's actually unbelievable. The ways that I have lived life outside of school and learned about myself while living life, it's actually kind of unmatched. But let me get back to the topic at hand. I plan to either stay or go, and I decided to stay. And throughout these 2 years, coming on 2 years in May, I have felt like I've been lacking. And the reason why I felt that way is because I would see all my classmates or my friends doing these very phenomenal things in their career. People who are traveling, people who are doing all these things, and then I would look at my life and I'm like, I am not there. I have not been able to sit my LMSW to be qualified as a therapist. I haven't been able to practice as a therapist. I haven't been able to plant seeds in that direction. But then I started to just think about the year that I've had so far. And it makes sense, it makes sense why I haven't been able to do these things, because I have gone through 2 pregnancies and 2 abortions. I've gone through a very toxic relationship, which taught me a lot about boundaries, a lot about self-esteem, a lot about standing up for myself. And it makes me remember like this video that I just saw, Kiki Palmer, and she was talking about something her therapist told her, and she said, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering this, but she said something along the lines where she went to her therapist. She was like, why me? Why am I going through this thing? And her therapist was like, on some level, you were seeking out something that you needed to learn. So instead of you thinking, why did this happen to me, think about, what is it that I was trying for myself to learn? And I think about that as I was in this very toxic relationship and post 2 abortions, and I realized that it was the intimacy of self that I was missing. I was missing a sense of devotion and loyalty to myself and to my passions and to the things that make me me. Having a platform to talk and to share my story and to allow other people to share their story. I was very timid and scared and thinking like, why me? Why do I like? It just felt a lot of imposter syndrome, not gonna lie. I was dealing with a lot of that post graduation, and I kind of gave up, because if you go on my podcast, you'll see like I think it was close to 2 years or like a year and a half off, and that was because I was facing a lot of insecurities. I was just like going down this slippery slope of, am I meant to do this? Should I be doing this? People are going to be judging me if I do this. And it's just so crazy to me that the catalyst for my change in perspective was the things that I went through, was the time that I took off, not by choice, for my career to live life. So in some ways, I am very grateful for me not being in my career. And I wrote this thing down where, not being in my career or not being in a space to actively take steps, which is really like traditional steps, because I've been taking steps outside of, sitting my exam and stuff like that. I started volunteering with an abortion clinic. Hopefully, fingers crossed, gonna be volunteering with a school who focuses on helping immigrants. Me pouring into my YouTube, pouring into my podcast. Like, I've been doing the things that I know at the end of the day, when I get to my career, they're gonna be things that are gonna enhance me. But yeah, being outside of my career has redefined my vision. And the image that's coming to my mind is like when people pound, is it pound? I don't know, but like how diamonds are made, like under pressure. Like that's what it reminds, like that's what I'm thinking of, like in this process of me being outside of my career, it has allowed me to really focus on the things that I'm passionate about and the things that is actually bringing me joy, and not, oh, I have to do this because it should be my next step. it's like, no, I get to do this. I want to do this. Um, so yeah, in that way, it's been really redefining my passions, redefining myself, and just redefining what I want in the future. Um, and this time away too, and like not having things work out how I thought it would work out has also what's that word? It has strengthened my relationship with rejection, because I would apply for jobs. I would walk around to look for jobs. I would hunt and search for jobs. And with every no and every maybe or every comeback, we'll see, has allowed me to think of different ways to not make, well, yeah, to make money, and to also figure out what else I can do, you know? So I don't want to be like stereotypical rejection is a form of protection, and rejection is a form of redirection, but rejection, it is, you know, and it allows us to actually end up where we need to end up, because there's been so many things. Like after graduation, I faced homelessness, and it wasn't because I wasn't trying. I was looking for housing. At the time I was in Maryland, DC area. I was going to apartments. I was looking for housing. At that time I landed a job. So I had the job, but my work permit card was taking too long to come. So eventually I couldn't take the job. And because I couldn't take the job, couldn't afford housing, because I couldn't afford housing, lost my apartment, and I had to end up sleeping in my brother's house, or my brother's apartment. And I remember thinking, why is this happening to me? Why? And as I'm like reflecting on it, I wasn't meant to live in Maryland, to be quite honest. No hate, no shame, nothing towards Maryland, but I feel as though the things that I want to do, the things that makes my heart smile, I have really found in New York. So yeah, rejection has really allowed me to plant the seeds for where I need to be and who I need to be. And don't get me wrong, my relationship with rejection has never been this way. But it's like, if I've thought about it in a negative light and that didn't help, let's try to change. Like, this is how I've been thinking about it to myself. If this way isn't working, let's try to see it a different way. And as I have been like reflecting on rejection in a different way, I've been seeing the points in my life where it's like, oh, okay, I understand why I wasn't meant to be there. I understand why I wasn't meant to have that job. I understand why I wasn't supposed to be with that person. I understand these things. And another thing I wanted to touch on, which I kind of did already, was allowing myself to dream differently and to have side quests. I recently got a job as in a boba shop, and I just think about all the things that I've done so far. I'm like, wow, I have learned so many different skills and been in so many different spaces and met so many different people, all because my life hasn't worked out how I thought it was. And I don't know, in some way I'm very happy that it hasn't, because it has allowed me to expand myself in ways that if I was comfortable in a certain situation, I would have never been able to expand myself. And this also goes for like, no, I'm not say that, but yeah, even like recently applied for 3 of my pictures, because I'm also a photographer, to be in an exhibition. Like, these are the things that if my life had gone how I thought it would have, I don't think necessarily I would have been, like putting foot to the gas, you know? Yeah, so in some ways, the the rejection of my dreams, or what I thought was my dream, has allowed me to actually find my passion, or be reintroduced to my passion, and I'm actually forever grateful for that. And not to say I'm not going towards getting my LMSW, because I am. My goal is to sit that exam and pass that exam this year, so fingers crossed. You have a new therapist on the block. And just thinking about that too, like, my approach to therapy is gonna be so nourishing because I have taken time to live life. I remember there was, I think it was in 2023, I got a job as a care captain for Planned Parenthood during the abortion rights campaign. They're doing like a documentary. And I remember getting that opportunity. And at first I was going to say no because I need to burp. Excuse me. Because I was like, how can I provide care for a population I have never been a part of? And I just was wrestling with that so much. I was like, I don't know how to provide help. I have empathy, but can my empathy be enough to help these women or these individuals? Can it be enough? And it was enough because I got a lot of feedback from the participants saying how much they appreciated me and my words. I forgot what I was going to say. That's crazy. All right. But now that I am living life and actually now a part of the population of individuals who have had an abortion, I feel as though my empathy has grown significantly, and my approach to life and my approach to, I don't even know, there's just so much that has changed within my being that I feel as though is now going to allow me to approach therapy in a very different way, and different in a good way. And I really think the key to being a very good therapist is to have lived your own life. Because I say this thing all the time. Well, I say to myself in my journal as I write, the key to life is in our experiences. Everything that we need to know, everything that we're searching for, it's right. We have the answers. So yeah, I think that's gonna be my approach to therapy. The answers that we are searching for, we have. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what the future holds, and to see where I land based off of the things that I love. Because there's this thing that people will be like, oh, the decisions that you make up your life. And I was like, I hear you, but now I really do hear you. And in the video that I made before, I was saying how I don't know where I'm going, but I will choose the things that make me smile and make my heart smile. And I hope that by me doing that consistently every single day, I start to lay the bricks for a life that makes me happy. So, yeah. I guess this is a reminder to me and to everybody else, like, yes, we may have dreams, and those dreams may not flourish the way that we want them to, but I believe that they flourish in the way that they're supposed to. So yeah, thank you for sitting down and listening to me talk. If you like, you can subscribe, you can like, you can share, you can do all that things. And yeah, see you next week for another episode. No, for another video. But also, if you want episodes, you can go to my podcast. It's called Behind Closed Doors. Maybe I can like put it here, put it there, put it there. I don't know. It's called Behind Closed Doors. Behind Closed Doors by Hanifa Griffith. So check that out if you like to. Peace.